What's going on, everybody? How are we feeling? Today is day 12 of our 40-day boot camp. Crazy we've made it this far. Today we are starting phase 2. So our entry models. How we look at the market, how we enter the market. So today is based on fair value gaps. That is the number. That's what we use to dictate our entries. So I've already marked out a really great fair value gap that got filled. That reacted as it should. It was a really good. It would have been a really good entry for a long. So we're gonna take a look at that. But first, so fair value gaps, super basic. It's a 3 candle setup. It is a displacement within the market where there's buyers and or sellers, but there's an imbalance. So there's an empty space. It's an empty space within it. So if we take a look over here, it is this area right here. So this is your 3 candle imbalance right here within this circle. And right here is your fair value gap. It is, you mark out the top. So if this is your main candle that you're looking at, you mark out the top of the previous candle and the bottom of the newest candle, and this is your fair value gap space. Now what you look for is this, where it gets tapped into and or filled within, and then you look, if it's bullish, you look to long, or if you look over here between this fair value gap, so this candle and this candle, if you mark out previous candle at the bottom wick for shorts, and then the top wick of the candle right after for this one right here, it got tapped right here, and we dumped heavily today. I ended up trying to long earlier today, and I lost, but I'm only down $66, so because I'm trading micros, so not a big deal. But I went against the market, which you're not supposed to do, so I broke a rule. Not great, but we learned from it, and I lost. But this is a great example of a bearish fair value gap getting filled. So this is a trade that I would enter on, but I already took my loss for the day, so I closed out. But they're super simple. It's just a 3 candle imbalance. This is your imbalance where orders were put in and they were not rejected. It's a dead space in orders. That's our main, that is our bread and butter of our entries. Super simple. 3 candle imbalance. So 1, 2, 3 candles. You mark out the dead space in between the previous and the newest candle, and then you wait for it to get filled. If it gets filled, you enter for a long, or in this case over here, you enter for a short. Super simple. Super simple. So the basics of it is, what is a fair value gap? A fair value gap is an area where orders were not affected by buyers or sellers. That is that empty space that you're looking at. Was not affected. It's just, it's dead space. It's what I think of it as. It's the easiest way to think of it. Where wicks don't overlap from either side. You have your imbalance, and that's what we're looking for. Every single time I open the charts, I'm looking for liquidity sweeps, break structure, and my fair value gaps. We'll get deeper into fair value gaps tomorrow. It's just a little crash course of them. What I want for you all to do today is go through on the chart, look for 5 fair value gaps that got filled. Just work on identifying them, mark them out, mark out with the rectangle tool your previous candle, your newest candle, put your rectangle in, and just see if it got filled. If it got filled and it went up, awesome. If not, try to figure out why it didn't. Comment down below what y'all saw, screenshots, anything. Mark it out, journal it, write it down. A fair value gap is an area where orders were not affected by buyers or sellers. That is, you have to know that to progress through the boot camp. But we'll get into it heavier tomorrow. Super simple, easy day, like every other day. These videos aren't hard. You all just gotta sit down and commit to it. They're at most maybe 10 minutes long. I think the longest one I put out is not even 10 minutes. I do it so it's easier to focus on, because all the videos I watch were 30 minutes minimum, and it's so hard to focus on them. That's why I make them shorter. Please, please do not take advantage of that and just watch them. I make them where you can re-watch them a few times if you need to. Super simple, but homework, journal, review, and mark out examples of for value gaps. Just work on identifying them. If you can identify them, then it makes it so much easier whenever you start trading to identify them in real time and being able to mark them out quickly. But that's all we got for today. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe and come back tomorrow for day 13.